I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion that you may or may not agree with. I would be very cautious giving this opinion in public, as it might ruin some friendships or, at the very least, make people raise an eyebrow at you. I'll give you the opinion and then my reasoning behind it, so stick around to the end, okay? Here goes. I don't think Hitler was evil. We'll come back to this in a minute, but let me give you a couple of scenarios first. Scenario 1. Let's say that you are the leader of a country. You get word of the location of a terrorist organization. Now, this organization has committed several atrocities over the years, and several lives have been lost. They let it be known that their next attack will annihilate hundreds of people. You have the opportunity to stop them, but at a heavy cost. You know with 100% certainty that the major decision makers in the organization, all 6 of them, are meeting in an apartment building overseas. They won't be there long. There's not enough time to send in ground troops to arrest them, but you can send a drone strike to destroy the building in the next 15 minutes. The problem is that this building is the home to several people who are currently there. The terrorist cell will cease to exist, but it means offing innocent families in the process. Scenario 2. Let's say you're the leader of a country and your population is growing. You are running out of room and you learn that there are not enough resources within your borders to sustain this growth. At the current rate, some people will starve by the next generation. You know of a land that is rich with resources. If you could expand into this land, your people would not only survive but thrive for generations. The problem is, this land is already occupied by people that have zero interest in sharing. They are a weak nation militarily, and you have seen other weak nations conquered by stronger ones. You know you could take this land by force. If you don't, you will run out of resources, your people will starve, and your country may be considered weak and be overrun by a stronger nation themselves. The question in both of these scenarios isn't, what would you do? It's, can you do anything and not be considered good or evil by someone? People are going to get hurt no matter what road you take. People are going to be saved too. The only thing that defines the outcome of good or evil is the observer's perspective. So what if there were no such thing as good and evil? What if those ideas were just made up? I look at the animal kingdom a lot to explain human behavior. At our most basic, we share a lot in common. When I look, I notice there are plenty of messed up things that animals do to each other. For instance, there's this cuckoo bird. They lay their eggs in other bird species' nests. The first one to hatch pushes the other eggs out of the nest so the host bird takes care of them without competition. Or orangutans who don't always get consent from a female when mating. They will pin a female down and force copulation against her will. Or polar bears who will straight up eat their offspring if they can't find food. It's nasty stuff, but I don't think people consider it evil. Evil is reserved for humans, which is evidence that it's not real. So why is it here? The idea of good and evil makes for excellent stories. We all love to see the hero battling the bad guys and saving the world. We cheer for the good guy, because we all want to be the good guy. And we despise the bad guy, because we despise the bad qualities in ourselves and in others. This makes for the basis of most religions too. God and the devil are the ultimate personifications of these two forces, and they do an amazing job keeping the masses in line. But things are rarely, if ever, as black and white as they are in fiction and parables. People are complicated, and just like in the animal kingdom, there is usually a reason behind their actions, even if those actions are terrible. People in tough situations make poor choices not because they're evil, but because they want to satisfy one of their needs. Leaders make controversial decisions as a means to an end, not to bring about the end of days. Recent studies even suggest the majority of serial killers have suffered head injuries or have neurobiological abnormalities. These affect their emotional processing and behavioral control. They aren't evil, they're just broken. We navigate life like moving pieces across a chessboard. Light and dark squares, right and wrong, good and bad, we're all capable of both. I don't think there are good and evil people, just good and bad decisions. And Hitler, well, he made some really bad decisions. By recognizing poor decisions when we make them and studying the ones made by people in the past, we leave ourselves a little room for improvement. We may never be perfect, but we're getting better all the time. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the ideas of good and evil, even if they differ from mine. I think healthy debate is just that, healthy. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. See you next time.